Okay, so something really interesting is happening right now in the world of storytelling. It's kind of this quiet revolution where one of the oldest, most foundational books in the world is suddenly, well, it's at the center of this massive media explosion. And it's happening on a scale we've just never seen before. I mean, think about it. We're talking prestige network TV, huge blockbuster streaming series, even the most innovative corners of YouTube. They're all retelling, reimagining, and rebroadcasting this one foundational book on a massive global scale. So that begs the question, right? Why the book of Genesis, and why is it suddenly everywhere? Because this isn't just one or two new shows. No, this is a full-blown cultural moment. And today we're going to break down exactly how this perfect storm of market demand, new tech, and fresh creative vision is making it all happen. Industry analysts are throwing around terms like the new golden age of Bible adaptation. But honestly, that doesn't quite capture the full picture. What we're really seeing is a convergence. You've got these multiple, totally distinct streams of media, all tackling the same source material at the exact same time. But each one has its own unique audience and its own unique approach. All right, let's start with the heavy hitters, Hollywood. The major studios are pouring some serious money into Genesis, betting that big A-list talent and those cinematic production values can bring these ancient epics into the mainstream like never before. And leading this charge are two massive projects. But here's the thing, they couldn't be more different in their strategy. On one side, you've got Fox Network's big star-studded event series, The Faithful. And on the other, Amazon is playing the long game, expanding a proven universe with Joseph of Egypt. So, The Faithful, man, it's making a really bold, creative choice. Instead of just retelling the stories of Abraham and Isaac from their perspectives, this series completely flips the script and shifts the focus entirely to the women. We're going to experience all of it. The divine promises, the intense family rivalries, the heartbreaking struggle of infertility, all through the eyes of Sarah, Hagar, and Rebecca. And this quote from the showrunner, it's key. This isn't just supposed to be some historical drama. Their whole goal is to connect these timeless themes, isolation, faith, family conflict, to a contemporary audience. They want to make these 4,000-year-old stories feel immediate and, frankly, urgently relevant to us today. Meanwhile, over at Amazon, you've got Dallas Jenkins, the guy behind the global phenomenon The Chosen, and he is taking a page right out of the Marvel playbook. Seriously, he's building out a biblical cinematic universe, and Joseph of Egypt is the next major piece of that puzzle. It's a prequel series all about Joseph's incredible, almost unbelievable journey, from being a betrayed brother in a pit to becoming the second most powerful man in Egypt. Okay, let's shift gears now to a completely different arena. Because away from the big Hollywood sound stages, there's this powerful grassroots disruption happening on platforms like YouTube. And its reach is, well, it's just staggering. I mean, just look at that number, 10 million plus views. And let me be clear, that's not for a trailer or a highlight reel. That's for a single, feature-length AI-assisted visualization of the entire book of Genesis. This is storytelling on a scale that actually rivals traditional media. And it's happening completely outside the studio system. So here's the crucial point. Technology has totally lowered the barrier to entry here. Using AI-generated animation, these independent channels are creating these epic cinematic experiences in stunning 4K. And this democratization means that anyone, anywhere in the world, with any level of biblical knowledge, can now just sit down and watch the entire sweeping narrative of Genesis, from creation all the way to Joseph's reunion with his family. It's a fundamental shift in how accessible this story is. And this really shows you why they're so appealing. See, these aren't just passive movies. They're designed almost like interactive educational tools. With these time-stamped chapters, you can jump straight to Noah and the flood, or maybe the Tower of Babel, or the story of Abraham. It completely transforms what can be a dense, ancient text into an accessible, navigable digital library for a whole new generation. All right, the final piece of this whole convergence takes us from our screens back to a more traditional spot, the movie theater. And here, creators are targeting a very specific audience by blending the biblical narrative with, of all things, scientific inquiry. Yeah, productions like Genesis Paradise Lost have a totally unique approach. They use this spectacular high-end 3D animation to visualize the 6 days of creation, But then they pair that spectacle with commentary from scientists and researchers who are actually making a scientific case for the biblical account. It's this fascinating blend of faith, apologetics, and blockbuster visuals. So let's pull the lens back for a second. We've got prestige dramas, an expanding cinematic universe, viral AI sagas, and 3D scientific documentaries. What does it all mean? Really, why is all of this happening with this one book right now? Well, it really boils down to a perfect storm of these four things. First, the runaway success of The Chosen was like a giant signal flare to the entire industry that there's a massive global audience just hungry for this stuff. Second, new tech like AI and streaming suddenly made it way cheaper and easier to produce and distribute. Third, you've got creators who are finally finding these fresh, modern angles to unlock the stories. And finally, the whole cinematic universe model gives them a proven blueprint for long-term, interconnected storytelling. And look, this isn't just some fleeting trend. As you can see from this release slate, 2026 is already jam-packed. Fox is positioning The Faithful to be a major Easter television event, and Dallas Jenkins' Joseph of Egypt is expected to drop later that year. So yeah, this new golden age is clearly just getting started. This convergence of faith, technology, and media, it's not just about one book. It's really a powerful reminder that our oldest, most foundational stories are finding this vibrant new life through our most modern tools. It really proves that a great narrative never truly dies. It just waits for the right technology and the right moment to be told again. So the real question is, what ancient story is going to be next?